Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? It's been a long day. Wine is 100% necessary. I have to have this video up. I say have to, like I have a boss who's like yelling at me, like you better have that video up. It's really me. I'm the one yelling at myself in my mind. I have to have this video up in like 12 hours. So that's always fun. I forced myself to take a little bit of time off from filming to spend with my family for Thanksgiving, and just, you know, just some family time, watching some Christmas movies with my mom, all that. And I really don't like to ever take a break from filming because I just like my routine. I like doing it like almost every day and it just keeps me going. And anyways, so I procrastinated a little bit because I got off the schedule, and then my son has not been sleeping. I think he's coming down with a cold. He was miserable today. So it is currently 9:30 when I'm filming this at night, so hopefully this is up in time. Hopefully. I don't know. All I know is that I deserve wine. I was just about to start talking about everything, and then I realized I forgot to do my intro that I always do. I don't even know if I said hello fellow makeup lovers. I think I did. So this video was inspired by Angelica Niekist and Samantha March. Their channels will be linked down below, as well as all the Instagram accounts that I use to make this video happen every single week. Now let's jump on in. Alright, so the first thing to talk about this week is from Sparrow Cosmetics, and this is their Power of 5 collection. And I think this palette actually looks really, really pretty. Like, I like the color scheme. Definitely a little bit more of a rainbow palette, but it looks like there's some fun pops here. My low buy has begun, which I'm going to do a video on soon, even though I feel like everyone's doing a video. I promise I'm not bandwagoning. I've been planning it for like months. But I feel like I don't need this palette, but I do really like it. I think it's really pretty. I think it's the first palette from Sparrow Cosmetics that's really called to me. I'm sure it'll be a good price. I don't know, I really like the colors in here. I am kind of curious about the shimmers. Some of the shimmer texture looks like there's a little bit of glitter in there, and I'm not really a huge fan of pressed glitters, so I'm curious to see swatches and everything like that. But I do like the color scheme of this, and I like, I haven't tried any matte shades from Sparrow Cosmetics, but I've tried a shimmer and it was really nice until I broke it. And I do like their highlighter formula, so I think this looks nice, but it's not like a necessity for me. Next, there is a new palette from Bellegant Cosmetics, and this is their Jewel Coin eyeshadow palette. This looks just like a Stila palette. Like, seriously, like the exact same packaging as Stila. I'll like leave a picture on screen. I don't even know if they sell those anymore, but they used to have like a whole collection of those. I feel like this palette, I really don't like this palette. To be blunt, I feel like all of the shades are like the same like level. I don't know how to describe that. Like, sometimes there's like a lighter tone, a medium tone, a deeper tone, and I feel like that's what makes really beautiful looks, because you can kind of, I don't know, use that to your advantage. And all of these look like the same amount of depth and brightness, just different colors. There's also so many oranges, reds, and pinks, and I just feel like, I don't know, a lot of the colors would end up looking the same. So for me, I just feel like this palette isn't very cohesive. I don't know, this is definitely a pass for me. I feel like it kind of like grabs your attention because it is really bright, but it just doesn't feel like I could do a full look with that. Or, I mean, I guess I could, but not like a ton that I would be happy with. So next is from Maeder Makeup Lab, and they are coming out with the Krampusnacht collection. I believe this is actually already available for pre-order, and this is cute. It is. The theme is not my cup of tea, 100%. I think it's like something about eating children. I don't know. I looked it up, and it looks like it's German folklore, kind of, or a movie. I'm not really sure. I tried to ask my dad about it because he's pretty knowledgeable at stuff. He didn't know either, so I don't know. But it does seem like the theme is a little bit creepy. I do like the shades in here. There's some warm shades, some pops of color. I think it looks pretty, but again, not a necessity. I actually did make an order from Makeup Maeder Lab that I have here already, which I haven't played with yet, so that's like another like thing in the back of my mind, like, no, you don't need it. And I wasn't 100% in love with the way that a lot of the shades swatched. It was kind of a little hit and miss from the matte shades. So this is a pass for me for now, but I do think it's a cute theme. I think the highlighter looks really nice. And also, Makeup Maeder Lab has the funniest shade names. It's all like based around like lab stuff and like medical stuff. Like a lot of their shades are like diseases and different things. Like they have like the mumps. I believe they have the mumps. They have different names, and they're really, really funny. Like kind of the names, like, you know, when people make fun of Kat Von D palettes now and they're like all naming the names, that's what Makeup Maeder Lab's names are. Alright, so next, this is just one shade I wanted to mention really quickly. This is from Kristenleigh Cosmetics. I'm not sure if their Black Friday sale was through the weekend. If it is, I mean, it'll be linked down below either way, but they came out with a new shade called Time Loop, and this looks like such a beautiful duochrome. It's like a shift from like a gray to a teal, and it was on sale for only $3.49 and free shipping, so I bought it. I think it looks really, really beautiful. It just looks really reflective. I bought a few things from Kristenleigh Cosmetics. I'm very, very excited to try them out, and I thought this shade was just beautiful. Okay, so the thing I was actually just talking about is what I have next in my pictures here, and this is from Cindy Grace Cosmetics, and it is the Autumn's Rain palette. I feel like every time I talked about it, I called it the Autumn Rain palette, but it's Autumn's with an apostrophe S for possession. Autumn's Rain, the rain of autumn. So I did purchase this palette for a few different reasons. So for one, I think the packaging is so cute. Also, I love that it is their first palette. I love Cindy Grace Cosmetics. I think that their quality is phenomenal. I think that they have great customer service. The women who run it are just so sweet. So I really wanted to support them, and I do like the color scheme. I think it's definitely more neutral compared to what I'm loving right now. But there are a lot of pops in there, and I feel like I could do a lot with this palette. I think this would be, I don't know, I feel like it's a really nice palette. It's a really great deal because you're getting 15 different full-size eyeshadows from them and a mirror, and I don't know, I'm really, really happy for them. I can't wait to create looks with it. So this was launched for their Black Friday sale, but it was excluded from the discount. But honestly, like, I wasn't like mad at it at all because they actually had to be evacuated because of the fire in Paradise, California. They were very, very lucky because all their homes were okay. They were untouched by the fire, and that's why they were able to have a Black Friday sale, which is why I didn't talk about them in my Black Friday video, but I put a pinned comment about them because I love their products. So they had 25% off everything else. Except this, but this palette for the rest of 2018, if you buy it, 25% of the proceeds do go to help victims of the fire. So I think that's really great that, you know, when they realize, obviously, I think it shows all of us how lucky we are, like, to have a home to come back to, and, you know, that we're safe and stuff like that. Like, the fires have just been so devastating, so I really, really appreciate them giving back. So I was definitely on board to buy this palette. Alright, so next, this is the Time Los Angeles Heaven Highlight Glow Palette. There is a light shade, a peach shade, a champagne shade, and a copper shade. I swear we literally had this conversation last week about how every highlighter palette looks like this. I don't even want to go into it. I just wish that they would release highlighter singles instead of the same palette with the same 4 shades that, unless you're a makeup artist or a medium skin tone and you can kind of like dip a little each way, like if you have lighter skin or deeper skin, you can only use a small portion of the shades, which makes the palette not worth it. That's my gripe. So next, there is this beautiful palette. This is from OMFG Cosmetics. They don't have a name here or a release date, but this is just stunning. It looks, I don't know, I love the packaging, like the light pink, and like that just in comparison with all the pastel shades. And I feel like these are pastels, but they're almost like bright springy pastels, which is a little bit of a funny release for like November, but I'm okay with it. Like I feel like during fall I go for a little bit more warm tones, but generally around the entire year I just wear whatever I want to wear. But I think this is really, really beautiful. It looks like all of the matte shades have a shimmer shade that like semi-match it. So I'm definitely interested in buying this. I think I'm going to hold off and wait for some reviews because, like I said, low buy living its best life. But I do... Am I calling it a low buy or an almost no buy? I can't decide on the name yet. Maybe almost no buy. I feel like that sounds more official, like an almost no buy. So I'm interested in that, but I'm gonna wait. So next I wanted to quickly talk about the Blush Tribe times Paulina palette. Y'all already know that I will literally fight someone to get this palette in my hands, but I just wanted to give you an update because you already know if I'm going to buy it or not. Well, I was going to buy it, but Paulina was so sweet to send me a message and say that she's going to have it sent to me. Even though I would 100%, I'm still kind of tempted to buy some extra and do giveaways or something because I'm so proud of her. And I think this palette is beautiful. But I wanted to give it a little update, show you guys some swatches. The top picture is just a screenshot from her video, not the best picture, but it kind of just gives you a better idea of what normal swatches look like. And then the bottom picture shows the swatches that are perfect swatches with the swatch stencil and everything like that, so you can see the colors really well. I wanted to update y'all because this palette is going to be available for pre-order. I believe it's this coming Saturday. Alright, so next is the 66.5 degree North collection from Cleona Cosmetics. I will tell you guys, I posted this on Indie Makeup Spotlight and I had the hardest time figuring out how to do a degree on the iPhone. Fun fact, all you have to do is press down on the 0, but that took me a while to figure out. So this is a really beautiful collection. I wasn't expecting it to be so big or so beautiful. So this is 24 single shadows, or you could get it in a bundle, and it is all inspired by northern Canada, the Arctic Circle, and some of these shades, oh my gosh, they're so beautiful. I bought a bunch. I bought mostly greens and a few purples. There's a few lighter duochrome shades that I'm living for that looked so beautiful. If you want to go on their page, they do have every single shade kind of swatched out individually, so you can get a better look at the collection. They had just different names, and just everything is so well thought out. I feel like that's the thing about Cleona. I hope I'm saying that right. I feel like I am. I hope I am. They just have such thought out just beautiful collections, and it's all just feels so heartfelt, I guess, to make it, is how I want to say it. So I'm very excited about it, and they were so sweet because I messaged them and asked them hey, I bought the Archeo and Paleo palette, it hasn't shipped yet. If I buy from this new collection, can I have that put together so I don't have to pay for shipping twice, because the shipping from Cleona is very expensive to the United States. I think it's $15 or something like that. I mean, that's not the worst. I've definitely seen worse shipping, but it's definitely not the best either. So they were able to do that for me, so that was another incentive on making this purchase. But so many of these shades look so beautiful, and also they had them all 20% off for Black Friday. So yeah, I thought that collection was stunning, and I don't know. I feel like I've been such a palette hoarder for so long, but I feel like I'm really feeling singles lately, because it's just so much nicer to be able to pick out exactly what I want rather than a whole collection with shades that I wouldn't use. So I'm excited. Next, Juvia's Place came out with 2 new highlighters, and these are called the Heroine Glow 1 and the Heroine Glow 2. Love the name. And I think these are pretty. I think the packaging is pretty unique. I'm going to be passing on these just because I feel like my skin tone is a little bit too light for them, unless I was using them as blush toppers, which I definitely don't need another blush topper. But I did want to mention these really quickly. They do look beautiful. Love the packaging. Love seeing Juvia's Place expand everything. Ooh, actually I didn't take a picture of it, but they came out with a new Nubian mini palette. It's the Nubian palette, but 6 shades, and I'm the Juvia's Place collector in me is shaking, because I know I don't need that palette. I know. I think it's probably just what's already in the Nubian palette, just a tiny little version. I don't need it. I don't need it, but I want it because I'm a Juvia's Place collector. I wish they would have done that with a different palette though. The Nubian is so neutral, and I feel like it's just the black sheep of the family. I wish that they had done the Masquerade into a 6-pan palette and chose the best shades. I think that would have been really cool. Not that I mean, I already own the Masquerade palette, so I don't know why I'm saying that. But anyways, moving on. I think I have a few more indie releases and some yeah, I have a few from Trend Mood, but these are kind of a mix of indie and mainstream. First off, Colourpop is coming out with a new Super Shock Shadow Vault. Please don't waste your money on this, y'all. Like, really? Okay, this is an advent calendar of Colourpop shadows, and it is $99. Crazy. I know you're getting a lot of product, but Colourpop Super Shock shadows don't last forever. They really don't. I've had plenty dry out, which is really disappointing. And these are cute, and they're split pans, and it's like, it's the Colourpop hype. I'm kind of like, I feel like I'm taking a break from Colourpop because I just feel like everything they come out with, I'm like disappointed. So this is just a pass for me. And I don't know, I don't get the hype because these, like, I feel like it's way too many shades. I feel like they would go bad. Like, I don't, maybe it would be a cute idea if you're gonna like split them up, and if you like did like little goodie bags for your friends or something, and you wanted to get them all, like if you have 5 friends, that's a lot, can't relate, and you wanted to give them all 5 Super Shock shadows, that would be a cute idea. But just like for me, if like I was gonna buy it all for myself, I feel like that would be such a waste. Even though I do like the Super Shock shadow formula. How to say Linda Hallberg with an accent?
Sure, translate into which language?
Swedish.
I can't translate into Swedish yet.
Linda Hallberg.
Linda Hallberg.
Linda Hallberg.
Linda Hallberg. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. Okay, never mind. Just ignore me. Anyways, this is the Infinity Deep palette, and I think this is personally a pass for me. I was actually asked to talk about this. I feel like the packaging is really beautiful, but the shades inside, I mean, if you're a neutral lover, you might like these, but I just feel like it's not something I need. I do really want to try a few different things from Linda Hallberg. I really want to try her duochrome little palette because I've heard good things, even though it's really expensive, so I'm hoping to get it on a sale. I actually missed their Black Friday sale because I suck. I really want to try their, I want their like little puff that Angelica always uses. It's like a powder puff, but it like sticks to your finger, and she's like always like getting right into her eye. I don't know, I feel like I want that puff so bad. It's only like $13. I mean, that's a lot for a puff, but I really want that puff. And then, oh, I really want her mood crayon set. So this is a pass for me just because there's already so many things I want to try from her. That's on my list to try, hopefully in 2019. So yeah, I mean, it's okay, I guess, but I'm not like drawn to it. Next is the Kat Von D Lolita palette, and I don't know how to feel about this. I think the packaging is pretty. I think the shades are pretty, but I feel like it's kind of overwhelming for this year. I think if this palette came out last year, it would have been such a hit because, like, for one, Kat Von D wasn't on the naughty list. And I think that, like, there wasn't that many berry tones palettes coming out last year. But now, like, this year, like, there was the Urban Decay Naked Cherry. There was, like, the Dose of Colors Blushing Berries. There's the new Ace Beauty palette. There's, the Dominique Cosmetics Berries and Cream palette. There's the Violet Voss, like, Little Berry palette. So I feel like now it's just like one wave and like a sea of berry shades. So especially with like not really digging Kat Von D anymore, I feel like this palette is a pass for me, 100%. But I don't know, like I said, I feel like if it came out last year, it would have done a lot better. But this year, I think it's gonna kind of be a flop. Okay, so next is the Zoeva Cosmetics Electric Eyes palette, and I did not see this one until now. Or by now, I mean like when I screenshotted it like 6 hours ago when I thought I was gonna film this, but then I couldn't. And I really like this one, actually. This is the first Zoeva palette that's really spoken to me, like, ever. I think this is really pretty. Like, there's a mix of like warm, like camely shades, and then there's like a pop of purple. There's like a little quad of like blue and green. I like it, but I'm not gonna buy it because I just feel like I don't need it. And I feel like there's not enough from Zoeva that I want to try to justify the shipping price. I'm not sure if at this point if Zoeva is available on, like, actually, I think, is Zoeva on Beauty Bay now? I don't know. So I really like it. I think that if I had it in my life, I would like it. but I'm trying to teach myself that even if I would like it, doesn't mean that I need to own it. So next is a little sneak peek from BH Cosmetics, and the caption specifically says a touch of bright colors. That's the shades that you see swatched, and then it says a wearable all matte palette. Here's an exclusive sneak peek what's coming next from BH Cosmetics. So I'm kind of, from that caption, kind of led to believe that these might be the most interesting shades in the palette that she has swatched. I don't know if it's going to actually be like a full matte palette of bright shades, because it was described as wearable, which to most people does not include the rainbow, unfortunately. So I'm kind of curious about this, curious to see what it is. I like BH Cosmetics formula for the most part, but again, I'm kind of prepping myself. I'm like, just because it looks nice doesn't mean I need it. I have so many matte palettes. Like, I have every matte rainbow shade I could possibly need. So I think whatever this is, it's going to end up being a pass. Even though BH Cosmetics is really affordable, so, but I really don't need it. Alright. Okay, so this next release, like, legitimately hurts me, like, thinking about it. So this is going to be the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Northern Lights Supreme Frost Pro Palette. I am just imagining what this is going to be like in my head. I'm like, this is going to be a duochrome palette of highlighters that are like green and purple and like pink and like all the shades that you see in the Northern Lights, which are beautiful, by the way. If you ever get the chance to see them in person, I did live in Alaska for a little bit, but I'm just imagining these in my head. And I'm like, oh, I wish, because I just love the idea of it. I feel like this is definitely one of those purchases where it's like, if I supported the brand, I would get. I don't even know what the inside is. I don't know what the packaging is. I'm just like imagining in my head. I'm like, the Northern Lights highlighter palette. I love that theme, which is also partially why I love the Cleona Cosmetics, because the Northern Lights was part of their collection. Like, they had like, how do you pronounce it? Borealis, and they had like, gosh, like Aurora Lights or something. They had different names pertaining to the Northern Lights. So yeah, I really like the idea of this. So maybe that'll end up being a no drama dupe. The last thing I want to talk about today is a new brush set, which is going to be available on Beautylish. This is from Soniaji, and it is called the Pro Eye Set. So they do not have a price listed for this set yet, but I'm sure it's going to be like $250 or something absolutely crazy. I just wanted to touch on this really quickly because I don't think I ever talked about it when she initially launched her first brush set, and I feel like I heard good things about her brushes, but I feel like I just had to put this out there. So she, like, there was like an article, and I think it was like the woman who owned 1,000 brushes or something along those lines, and how she created her own brush set, and she chose like the most like absolutely necessary brushes you had to have, the ones that would replace everything else, like the most essential to your collection, based on her experience and after trying like 1,000 brushes or whatever. And I will admit, there is brush lines I have not tried, but I have tried hundreds of brushes, and I promise you that there is no reason to spend $250 on like 5 eye brushes. I'm just guesstimating what the set is going to be. It might be like 150, 175. Even then, at first, like, I saw the article and it was like 1,000 brushes, and I was like, dang, goals. But then I saw her brush line, and I was like, oh, she came out with a brush line, that's so cool. And then I clicked on it and I saw the price. I can't remember. I think it was like $400 something altogether. I can't remember the exact amount. All I know is that it was like literally ludicrous. No, I feel like the more brushes I've tried, the more I would be able to go out of my way to recommend the least expensive ones that are still amazing for the price. Because I feel like whenever I was first trying brushes, I always had in my mind, I was like, oh, I can't wait to try like the Sigma F80, which is like a $20 foundation brush. And now I'm like, I could recommend a foundation brush that costs $10 and be like sure of myself that it's still good. And I wouldn't like think like, oh wow, I know the perfect shape, let me make like a $60 brush. I don't know, it bothers me. Alright, you guys. So that is everything for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I got it up Sunday morning. And I think that's everything I have to say. So I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.